Keith Lombardi is on fire, putting up consistently 2 sales a month since the beginning of the year, writing offers, taking listings. So what are the keys to his success? We'll break it down next. And if you get some value out of this, you like what you hear, make sure to subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if you want to schedule a call with our team or with Keith to talk about your real estate needs and goals, you can do that with the link in the comments. So 8 sales in 4 months. Big numbers. Half the population of real estate agents didn't sell a home at all last year. You're laughing, but you've been in the business long enough to know. So, and this market's not an easy market. It's challenging. It's confusing. There's curveballs coming. So what are some of your keys to this consistency, Keith? Because I think that's what a lot of people, that they want to find in their business.
So I think it's important when, especially doing the first steps of doing the buyer consult, being realistic and setting your expectations and how the process is actually going to go. So that way they know. Unfortunately, it is a little bit of a tough market, but as long as they know what to expect and remember ultimately what the end goal is, I think that's going to help. Because it's easy for a lot of people to get super discouraged. There's a good chance that you're going to maybe make an offer or 2 or 3 and not get it. But it's all part of the process. You're going to learn what's going to work. And eventually, you kind of have to pivot and just do those things that are going to work. There's a lot of terms right now that a lot of buyers are probably thinking, well, I don't want to waive inspections. I don't want to do this or do that. There's a lot of nuances around that. There's ways to work around it, but you have to be open and willing to do so. I think also building rapport with the agent on the other side is so huge. Making sure open communication, letting them know what your clients are looking for, finding out what the seller is looking for, and then communicating all the way from the process of first seeing the property all the way up through making the actual offer. Happened to have a conversation this morning with an agent, and I do know that we are running against multiple offers, but the conversation we had, the terms that we submitted, and also being upfront with the ability to increase those terms and the level of communication is probably putting us in first position to those other offers.
Well, these are some important things. You want to take notes on this because one is meeting with buyers before you show them properties.
So important.
It sounds silly, but nobody really knows a lot about real estate. Right. They don't know what they don't know, and then you get into these situations where you've got a couple hours to make a decision. Right. Who do you think is going to be more prepared? The person that sat down with an agent, got guidance, and got educated like Keith is doing, or someone that just took a flyer and wanted to go see a home? It's always going to be the former. Being nice to other agents and building rapport. We're in a rapport-building business. Exactly. So, the other agent on the other side, in my view, is like they're one person you've got to negotiate with. You're really negotiating with your client, the client on the other side, and the agent. And I'm a big believer in just being nice to people. It goes a long way.
Well, it's funny, too, because, doing both sides of it, you really can see how people differ when representing buyers to representing listing agents. And I happen to just have a situation recently where everything was done through text. Mm-hmm. And we could have had a conversation that probably would have lasted no longer than 30 seconds. I would have known exactly what your buyers were looking for, what they were willing to do, how you like to do things, and I would have known your experience as an agent, which can make a difference when it's, okay, do I want to work with someone or recommend a seller take an offer when it's maybe unexperienced or they're just unsure, maybe things could fall apart, or someone who was very open, said, this is what I like to do, this is how I do things. And then you can just know that it's going to be a smooth transaction. Things are going to work out for your seller. So it's communication with everyone is so key to this. It's a relationship building business. So if we're not doing it, someone's losing out somewhere.
I could not agree with this. Chris Smith from Curator just put out a tweet yesterday that said, the art of getting an offer accepted has a high degree of difficulty. And if you're not following all the steps, it can fall apart. And right. When you're on the listing side, you can see what that likes and what the missteps are. So obviously these two things are working really well. So someone that wants more consistency in their business, what advice do you have for them? Because getting sales is one thing, but continually putting up sales, that's the game right now.
Right. You know what? It all comes back to relationships. Not everything when you're making phone calls all has to be about just reaching out, hey, do you want to buy or sell a home? Eventually, you're going to discourage a lot of people. But just genuinely being there and just building a rapport. Hey, how's the kids? Saw you happen to do this. What's going on? They're going to remember that you took the time to reach out and just see, how they were doing. Happy anniversary, happy birthday. And also it's in the numbers. You have to dedicate at least a few hours every day to making phone calls, sending text messages, and doing it in a consistent way, not just spamming people, calling them for no reason. making sure that you're calling them to see how things are going, wish happy birthday, but also providing something of value, which when you have a good CRM platform, it's very easy to do. It's a constant hustle and grind. It is a business. It is your business as an agent. You can only get out of it what you put into it. If you want to be successful, you have got to put in the time, realize that, and treat it like it is any other job. You have to put in a minimum of 8 hours, but we are on call. There is times we're going to have to go out, and you are only going to do as much business as you will allocate your time to doing.
Well said here. There's a lot to unpack. Value-based follow-up, treating it like a job, getting in the CRM for a couple hours a day. This could be a masterclass on how to be consistent in your business. So watch this one a couple times. Make sure to replay it here. You want to get in touch with Keith about your real estate needs. Here's all his contact info. He is the kind of agent you need in today's market. Keep kicking butt, my friend.